So this is my first time recording a video, so I don't really have a script at all. I just have thoughts, ideas of some things I wanted to talk about, or some things that should be mentioned. In particular, things going on in the world. Some of the things I comment on online, which is very little. I pretty much don't have any friends on Facebook anymore. I just use it solely for the purpose of my business. That's it. It's the only reason I use it. But with chats, you don't know who's real, who's a bot, who's a troll. So at least if you have a video, you know the person is real. In a Zoom meeting, you know people are real. That's some of the benefits and the things I've mentioned with some of the people I support politically. I said that that's the reason why we need real face-to-face town halls. I think it's also a big reason for the push for people to go back to working in offices too, is because look, during COVID, when everyone's working at home, as a lot still are, you don't know what condition those people are in. They can be at work drinking, being not as productive as they should be because they're drunk all day, every day. Another thing contributing to alcoholism, where if you had to drive to work, be at the office, you're less likely to be high or drunk or something, right? So that's another thing why I think it's important that at least there's a hybrid schedule where people at least partially work, in person. And there too, I mean, what are you going to do yet? It's already that young people don't know how to talk to anyone, have a real conversation because everything is just online, right? So the other thing is, my business is half and half. Half of my sales, I sell collectibles, I sell vinyl records is my primary thing. I've been on eBay selling since 2013. I haven't taken it serious till I actually opened my physical store when I quit my previous job, previous profession. So about 2020, 2019 is when I really started. Yeah, sales were good during COVID, but a lot of things came up too where during financial hardship times like now, you have more people finding elaborate ways to scheme or scam, and they always have, but it's exceptionally bad. One example I had during COVID was people would buy pottery stuff. It was ceramic, cookie jars. That seemed to be one of their favorite items, and what they would do is they would instantly demand a refund, arrived broken, which, it's ceramic. It can break easy. Dishes, glass, whatever. Well, and you would ask them repeatedly, even once, twice, every day, hey, could you message me back? Could you show me pictures of what you're talking about so I can verify it's broken? They would wait up till the last day before they had a chance to, and they saw clearly that you weren't just going to simply refund them. Then they would smash it, and a lot of times actually say something derogatory. Or something like that, because you didn't play their game. And people are still doing it. The only way eBay has gotten a little better is with electronics and some other items, I believe. They make the people actually upload pictures before the return is accepted or even initiated or anything. So that's good. At least they've been listening to the seller community and said, okay, we've listened to you. We understand what they're doing, the scammers, the charlatans, whatever you want to call them, scheming people in general. They're starting to be a little more combative towards them, but I'm still having problems with it. I just sold CDs. Anything on disc seems to be another problematic thing. I just sold a lot, I believe, of Xbox 360 games, and I said, look, these are scratched. They're being sold as a lot. They may or may not work. Well, the person that buys them, of course, I look at their history after they initiated the return, and I mean they've had it the day, and supposedly already tried all 19 discs, which is believable. They could have, but they're like, they don't work. Did you even look at them? And then I look down their comments, and it's like, oh, they've done this to other people. So in other words, it's another extortionist. It's another item that's real easy to say not as described, but I would say with the video games too, that's another place where it just seems that the scamming is really bad. Of course, Pokemon too, trading card games, trading cards in general, I don't like for that reason. I don't even deal with them anymore due to the fact that it's so easy. It's so easy to for people to create fakes. There's fakes that have been known to be graded where even the graders didn't catch them. So I don't even bother. And not to mention here in Minnesota, we've had a number of card stores, comic stores that had Pokemon trading cards during COVID and even recently broke into because there again, it's a binder of cards. It's something so easy to steal, so easy to hide with upwards potential of value. So there's all this incentive, and it's like I don't even want that in my store because it's too high risk. But um, I would say one of the stores that I have bought from one time I got a lot of I think it was 10 NES consoles that were for parts or repair. The DK Oldies, which has been in the news a lot. There's a lot of content creators mentioning them that items are not as described. They say they're refurbished and they're not. And I just question people because I'm trying to do that myself. Get into repair consoles, resell them. So what my question is, what is a seller supposed to say they are? Just say they're tested and they work. We may or may not have replaced some parts. I mean, because I think people are being overly critical on DK Oldies, I want to say, and maybe other game stores just like them that sell refurbished consoles. To me, refurbished means you look through it, maybe cleaned at least the shell, and you replaced parts as necessary. Um, that doesn't mean that you went through it with a fine comb and replaced everything totally, like resurfaced the board and stuff. I mean, that's restoration. Then you could say restored console. Refurbished just means got it to operating condition again. And maybe they didn't have to open it. Maybe they just cleaned it out, So there too, it seems like there's people that are just creating content and bad mouthing places just for the sake of getting views. So what I see with the market, and this in just that industry, this is everything. It seems everyone is cannibalizing on one another. Everyone is trying to be a seller. Everyone is trying to be the next greatest thing at somebody else's expense. For example, in my store, I had this one customer. He would come in, was real nice, would always buy some things, and I knew he told me he had a whatnot store. Well, I went out of my way to, actually give him some deals when he bought stuff in bulk. So what happened was one time a load of Pokemon stuff came in. No cards, no real valuable cards, but it was like the Pokeballs from Burger King back in the day, the whole set, some Pokemon comic books. I posted them to my Facebook page right away, the store page, because I want to let people know what I got. Well, the thing of it is, I on this item in particular, I said limit one item per person, and the guy lost his mind. He instantly wrote, because he has multiple accounts on multiple platforms, so he goes to Google reviews, leaves 2 horrible reviews about my place. Oh, the store's dirty, filthy, everything's broken, the owner doesn't know anything. So there again, so what you have from my experience is you have a lot of resellers using these different forms of extortion to get what they want. Like, as in, you better be a wholesaler for us, or else, and that's what they do. They use these bad reviews as a bargaining chip, and it's just, I don't know where anyone thinks that this is going to lead to. How can this possibly turn out good if this continues? We already see stores closing all over the place in areas. They said people are leaving eBay. They're, dropping their eBay stores in flocks. So, I mean, unless it's combated, I don't see what can come of it. But anyways, like I said, this was my first video, so I'm pretty sure I made a lot of mistakes. I'm not really composed. I didn't have a script written. I'm just literally sitting here ranting. So if you want to hear more, please like, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll try to get back to you. Thanks. Bye.